Hello there and welcome. My name is Linda and this is my channel Linda T70. It's really good to have your company today. My dog's just given me a funny look. I think I made her jump. Thank you if you have watched me before and you're a regular viewer and write comments to me, which I thoroughly enjoy. Thank you for coming back, and if you've just happened on my channel, I hope you like the content and stick with me. I feel a bit guilty actually that I haven't done any clothing hauls for a while, or proper shopping hauls, and I know that I know not all of you are bothered about watching that sort of stuff. A lot of you like the chat that we have, which is probably what today's video is going to be about. But it's kind of difficult really, isn't it, because to keep on going out and buying things to talk about them, because I just don't need a lot of stuff. I think I've got enough stuff, probably more than I do need, but I don't think I need any more. And but I will try and do a clothing haul soon, because it's getting to it's obviously autumn now and the fashions are beginning to, well, they don't really change, do they? We just go in one big circle. But I did actually go into town a couple of days ago with the intention of buying a new top, because I'm going out to dinner on Saturday, and but I couldn't see it. I went in Yours. That's the only, well, it's the most convenient shop to where I park that does exclusively plus size clothing, because I'm a size 20. And I walked around there and everything looked drab, and I don't know, it just looked like the fabric wasn't very nice. It just looked like somebody had bought 10 miles of a certain colour and everything was made out of the same thing. And by the way, I do apologise if you can hear my washing machine. It's on a high spin, and I've shut the door, but it's a bit noisy. It'll stop in a minute. Because leopard print is all the rage, as I like to say. They've just got some really clothes that don't even look very well made, and they've just got like leopard print ties on them and things. Anyway, I wasn't very impressed. I'm sure if I looked on the website I could find some stuff, but I just haven't got round to it because I've been busy doing other things. So I will do it. I will try and get myself into gear and do a clothing haul for you, or a B&M haul or something. As I say, because I know that you like those, and frankly they get more views, so people do seem to like that sort of stuff. Anywho, so speaking of shopping, when I went into Yours, it was because I'd gone into town to take the hundreds of coffee and sugar jugs, pots and things that I got, caddies, that's the word, isn't it? So I'd done an online order from Dunelm, and I'd over-ordered one item, but they'd also sent me a lot of other items the same that I didn't order and I didn't pay for. So, but anyway, that was fine. But I did have a good look around the shop, because I've got another project burning in the back of my brain, but I was having a look around for that, and I did see these. I bought a couple of these. So this is the same style as the coffee, tea and sugar pots I bought from Dunelm. Obviously they have stoppers in. This is just this is a utensil jar, just in case you didn't believe me. I thought I'd better focus that in. These are £8 each. I did buy 2 of them actually. But I also didn't buy the sage green, because I thought, I'm going to go rogue here. I don't care. I'm not going to have everything sage green, but it's the same style. And I've got quite a few utensils, so they easily split into 2 jars. I've already got them in 2 different jars. I've probably got too many utensils, haven't I? But I do use most of them. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show you. I got a couple of those. And the kitchen sort of revamp isn't particularly interesting to anybody, but I'll show it to you when it's finished. I've been painting today and I've got paint all over my nails. I've had a shower, but it's kind of stuck to my nail varnish, but I might do some more painting this afternoon. There's very little wall to paint, but there's glossing and window and whatever, and I need current husband to help me shift some stuff because my back's a little bit sore, and I need to move the fridge out, and there's no way I can do that on my own. I'll probably end up with my feet sticking out from underneath it. So anyway, so thank you for all the comments about all the other stuff I've been showing you. I do appreciate it, and you're ever so kind. Now I've written down a couple of notes again because otherwise I just can completely go off at a tangent. Oh, I'll tell you what though, I've got a new annoying thing, and I don't know if it's just me that gets annoyed about it, and I don't know why I do, because it's a silly thing to be, I say up front, it's a stupid thing to get annoyed about, but it kind of grinds my gears a bit. So I was watching a cookery programme the other day, and the woman, the cook, the chef or whatever she is, I don't know what her name was, I've never seen her before, and I'm guessing she must have been Italian by descent. Possibly her parents are Italians, and she just, you know, born in this country, so speaks with an English accent. She might, I don't know, I'm only guessing, I don't know who she is, and I didn't see all of the item. I never actually managed to see all of the items that I talk about, I only catch bits of them. But anyway, she was talking about this recipe she was making, and actually I can't even think what it was she was making now. But when she said the ingredients, she said it with an Italian accent, and the rest of the time she was speaking with just an ordinary English accent, and that does wind me up a bit. I don't know why, instead of saying macaroni, for example, somebody who is speaking without an Italian accent suddenly would go macaroni, or, you know, that type of thing, and you think, well, it sort of takes you back a bit, doesn't it? Because you think, where did that come from? And I do appreciate that if you are Italian by heritage and you speak the language, you might sort of slip into it, but I just think it sounds a bit weird and it's a bit annoying. And I mean, you know, if your mum was in the kitchen, I don't know, making it was spaghetti, and suddenly said, oh, you know, said your spaghetti's ready, fine, but if they say, oh, your spaghetti's ready, you know, do you know what I mean? It just sounds weird. So I wish people wouldn't do that. If you speak with an English accent, as a rule, please don't make us all feel like we have to go round saying, oh, I don't know, there's any number of Italian ingredients or dishes that I can't think of any of at the moment apart from spaghetti and macaroni, but you get what I mean. So that was a bit annoying, so please don't do that. Not when I'm watching you anyway. You can do it any other time, but not when I'm watching you. Yes, what else have I got to tell you? Done and returned, so yes, I've shown you that. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for your comments about my son and his flat. Bless your hearts. A few of you did say to wish him luck, and I did tell him. And he said, oh, have I been on your channel then? I said, well, no, not really. I've just mentioned that I went round to look at the flat. And I've lost track a bit. I know I told you about the first estate agent who was, you know, didn't know anything, didn't know what day it was really. And then when I went and met him again on Monday, and there was another agent and she was equally gormless, and you know, it's just such a shame. But she didn't know anything, and it was all yes, I'll let you know. But anyway, he's taking the flat. He's going to be moving in next week. And I mean, the situation with him was that he's it's not like, I don't know what impression you've got of him really. He's not been living with his old mummy for years, you know, since he's left school or anything. I mean, he's getting on for 40 now, and be 40 this year, and he's lived away from home for years and years and years, and he's been married and had a couple of family homes and children and everything, and then his his marriage ended, so he came here because we have had spare rooms, and we get this a lot in this house. People, over the years, some of our various children have come back because it's been, one came back to save up for the deposit for a mortgage. One daughter lived with us when she had her child. I mean, she lived with us anyway, and you know, so and this son came back many years ago, just for a year or two or something like that, and stayed with us, and then he went off and, as I say, got married and everything. So it's not like he's been sitting in upstairs in his room doing Airfix kits or anything. He's a perfectly normal bloke. It's nice that he's now moving on with his life and found this property. As I say, thank you for wishing him well. I'm sure he will be fine. He's one of these people that he's just got himself a nice new job and everything, and things are going very well for him at the moment. And he's asked me if I'll go shopping with him next week, because he gets the keys next week of the flat, and I don't know quite what he wants me to help him with. Probably lug stuff up the stairs. I don't know, but it just made me think. I did say to him the other day that, of course, we have our children, and our job is to look after them and send them off into the world to be happy, confident people. That's it really, isn't it? Now, I know it's not always that easy for people, and there's a million different things that can be thrown into the mix, and, you know, everyone's lives take different turns. I do fully appreciate that. But basically, you have a child, you kind of make sure nothing happens to it, and it grows up as well as you can manage, because none of us are trained for it, are we? We're all kind of dipping down the box of tricks every now and again to try and find our way with being a parent. It's not easy. And then you know, that's your job, and then hopefully they'll find someone they love and maybe make a life with them or whatever, and that's kind of what you want. And so we got him back quite. It was when him and his marriage broke. He came here very quickly, as in there was no get ready time. So we kind of. I might have told you this before, but me and current husband, we had two spare rooms because they'd been vacated by children over the years, and we were just going mad trying to find space because we didn't know, we'd filled it all with our stuff, so trying to find a space for him. And anyway, so it all settled down, and it worked quite well. And this was more than 2.5 years ago now, and of course has his life. He's been obviously works. He goes out and has his full social life, so he's not here all the time anyway. There's only certain days of the week he stayed here, but it's just the fact that he's going now. It's a bit of an end of an era, and I don't remember it really being like that when he was young and left home for the first time. And of course I want him to go and have a good life. I mean, he's only going a few miles away, so not going very far, and of course you still see him. But and then the same thing really with my grandson this morning. He's not leaving home. I mean, he's only 10, but I've spent the last 10 years, because my grandson's 10 and a bit, being involved with this particular grandson, as in helping to look after him and all that stuff, sort of thrown in with that, because when you have your own children, you sort of think one day you might have grandchildren, but I never really gave it any thought that I'd get involved with having to change nappies and take them to school, or, you know, take them to play groups, or all this sort of stuff that you sort of end up doing, because it's all different now, isn't it? And for the last goodness knows how many years, I've picked him up from school every Friday, and he's now in year 6, so that's the last year before secondary school. And they are allowed now to walk home on their own, which I didn't even know you had to have permission for that, because when I was at school back in the dark ages I can distinctly remember walking to and from school when I was 5 on my own, crossing roads and everything, and I wasn't the only one. That's what we all did then. We didn't live miles from our school or anything, but he doesn't live miles from his school. Anyway, my daughter said to me this morning, he's gonna, because he's been walking home to where he lives for this week for a few days, and my daughter said, you don't have to pick him up today because he's walking home. And I said, does that mean he's walking home to me or to you? And she said, no, he's coming home here. And I thought, I'm now redundant as a nan, aren't I? I'm not needed, because we had a little Friday routine. Pick him up. He liked me to park in the same place. He'd get in the car, wouldn't say much to me, drive. Well, he'd say a bit, I'd kind of get a bit. This was the only window for conversation I'd have. I've told you this before, I know, so I'm probably repeating for most of you. And then we'd get home, he'd go and get a snack, then he'd put YouTube on and watch Minecraft and God knows what. And then he'd have his pizza and chips, and then someone would come. It was a real little routine, and I thought that has ended now. And it's a little bit sad, isn't it? Although I'm always moan about having to do these things. It's a bit sad when you're not really needed anymore. But I expect somebody else will need me for something before long. But so the two boys, my son and my grandson, my son's son isn't this grandson, he's got other children. Not that makes any difference, I don't know why I'm telling you that. But it just had a little moment this morning. I thought, after all these years, I'm not going to be needed. But then that's exactly what I said about my son. It's the way it should be, isn't it? It's the way it is. Children only need you for a certain time until something goes wrong, and then they need you again. Now, the next project I've got coming up, if you're interested, is when he goes, my son goes, I've got my eye on sorting his room out. I'm itching to do it. So I want to make that into just a nicer room and make it more for things I need. So for, when I do videos and for some crafting and that. So that's something in the future, a project for the future. And the other thing I wanted to touch on, I know, sorry, this is all a bit rambling again, isn't it? But I had a message, and I know it was obviously in the comments that everybody can see, and I know some of you must have seen this, and I thought it would be an interesting subject to have a little bit of a chat on today. Her name's Karen, and if you're watching, Karen, hi. And I name you because what you write is for everyone to see. It's not a private message to me. And she was asking, she was saying that she's been retired a few years, and she's in her early 60s, and she's quite honestly, she's bored and doesn't know what to do with the time that she's got on her hands. And did I have any ideas or, any opinions on this? So I thought that would be quite an interesting thing to have a little bit of a chat about, because I've found with retirement, I'm here on my own most of the time, apart from my dogs. I'm here on my own from 7 in the morning till, usually 6 or 7 in the evening. Which isn't a whinge, it's just that my current husband is younger than me and he's still working. And I don't really mind it, to be honest. I don't really get bored I don't mind my own company, and I can usually find something to do. And even if I can't, I'm still usually not bored. That's in my home environment. I do get bored. I remember when I used to work, you'd have ages when days sometimes when you were bored stiff with what you were doing. But that, of course, isn't any help to somebody that is bored with what's going on in their daily life. And I could sit here and suggest a lot of things that people do. I mean, I don't even sort of hoover and that all the time to fulfill the time. I just don't. I don't get that. I don't think, oh my God, I know I do a lot of decorating, but that isn't because, I suppose that, well, actually, I suppose that is a boredom because I get bored with how things look, but I don't get bored with, you know, the day-to-day stuff I do, really. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? But I suppose, I'm bored, perhaps, but in a different way. But I don't feel like I've got to constantly do something or find something to do. But that's just me. And I have retired friends who, I've got one particular friend who is, she's retired and she lives on her own. And she feels every day, because she doesn't like being on her own, she feels every day doing stuff. She's got lots and lots of friends. She also does some part-time work, and she every day she will have like a timetable of things that she's going to do and people she's going to see until whatever time in the evening, and then she'll be at home and okay with that. And that's how she handles it. I've got, you know, another friend who is lives with her husband, and I think she started watching my channels. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but they're both retired, and they've both been retired for several years. So they've, you know, had each other's company for quite a number of years at home, but they still have quite individual things that they do. Her husband does a little part-time thing, and my friend, she does a lot of crafting, and she goes to places where they craft, you know, you can craft together. She's also done some extra educational. She's amazing. She's done O levels and all sorts in her time. I mean, I'm so lazy. I don't do anything like that. I didn't do them at school either. But so she. And she's got some grandchildren that she helps to look after, so that's, you know, how her day looks. And she's going to be seeing me in a few days, hopefully, so that'll be lovely. I mean, people do all sorts of things. There's other couples that, I mean, I used to sort of, I just actually start this sentence again. I've always thought, and I think I might have said this before, because I'm older than current husband, I'm probably going to be, 79 or something by the time he officially retires. And I don't know what I'll be able to do then. You just don't know, do you? So I feel like I've been a bit cheated out of having a retirement with someone. I mean, he says, oh yeah, but if I was with you all the time, I'd drive you nuts. And he's probably right. But be nice to do things. I mean, I've never really liked doing things that old people are supposed to do, like go to stately homes. And I mean, I don't mind a garden centre. I'm happy to go to a garden centre, but there's only so many of those that you can visit, aren't there? So really what I'm saying is, I don't know, Karen, what you can do, because I could suggest 20 things to you and there'd be a reason why you couldn't or don't really want to do it. It's all very personal. But I suppose, I don't know if there's any of you out there that have got any brilliant ideas for her. I suppose it comes down to how you think about stuff, though. If you wake up, she describes sort of getting up in the morning and cleaning things for the sake of cleaning them, and then sort of, you know, bored when and the sort of days, the hours sort of stretch ahead during the day. But there are loads of things you can do that if you are feeling like that. Now, I'm assuming that there's a partner in your life, because I think you'd say we, because she's done, you know, we've decorated the home and whatever, and we've done the garden. But there are lots of pastimes that people do as couples. There's, you know, there's coffee things, and there's not coffee things, what do you think? I mean, people learn to dance in later life, don't they? There's all sorts of clubs and day trips and things you can go on. I mean, I'm saying all this stuff, and I mean, I don't know that you're probably going, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. But I suppose it comes from your brain, really, doesn't it? Boredom. I mean, I say that I'm not bored, although I don't really do very much. I mean, I know people think that I'm really busy all the time, and I do have stuff to do. I'm constantly doing stuff for that around the house. Doing a YouTube channel takes up some of my time, but it's not, every moment of every day. I do have time where I just sit on my bum and watch the TV and whatever, but I'm just not bored doing it. And I suppose it's just the way my brain is. I don't know. So as I say, I could sit here and say to you, yes, go out and do brass rubbing, or join, there's volunteering, isn't there? People seem to, once they get into volunteering, enjoying that, or working in a charity shop, which would be unpaid, of course. Lots of, I mean, it sounds like Karen's about 10 years younger than me anyway, so you can get part-time work. I mean, I'm guessing that perhaps her body, she said something about somebody suggested her getting an allotment, and she said she wasn't fit enough, I think, to do that. But so I don't know. I haven't really got enough information here, but yeah, there's all those sorts of things. Or animal shelters. I think you can volunteer at those. There are lots of things to do, but I think sometimes it's just too easy to say. If you really want to do something. I mean, I'm a bit of myself, I can easily talk myself out of doing something, because a lot of it is confidence, I think. And I suppose also, if you want to do something and your partner, or whoever you live with, maybe doesn't want to, they're quite happy as they are, that can be, you can have a bit of guilt attached to that, can't you? Because you think, well, I should want to be sitting looking admiringly at you over the tea table, but I don't. I want to go and do something else. Yeah, it's a hard one, and I wish I could be more help. All I can say is, I mean, if you want to give us on the messages, if you want to give us a bit more information about things that you potentially might like to do and perhaps don't know how to do it, there seems to be quite a wealth of, with the viewers I have, a wealth of knowledge out there for so many things. I mean, every time I ask you guys a question about something to do with me, like things I've shown you, and I said, oh, does anyone know what this is? Or, I get people come straight back and give me the answer. So we could use our little forum as because I think, although I've got, in theory, quite a lot of viewers, I don't have a lot of, it's not a high proportion of those people subscribe, well, probably not subscribe to me, but that actually comment. So I think that's a fairly small forum of people. It's always the same folk every week that talk to me, which is great. I'm not, that's lovely, because it feels like I know you. So if you want to give us a bit more information about things, maybe we can all come up with a few different ideas. So with me, things that come to mind are volunteering with people, or charity shop. I mean, at least you get to meet other people that way, and I don't think you have to work for very long, just whatever you can do. Animal things, if you like animals, go to dogs or cats homes or something. I think you can do that. If you like crafting, there are craft groups. I think libraries are quite a good resource, aren't they, to get information about what's on in your local area. If you've still got a library wherever it is you are in the UK. Yeah, I mean, and also there's that other thing, isn't there, with the winter. If you're the sort of person that doesn't like the dark evenings, I mean, I feel it when I wake up in the morning now, because I always tend to wake up around the same time, and it's dark now. Obviously a few weeks ago it was light, and that's nice. You know, it's nice when it's light when you wake up in the morning, but we get used to it, and it's only really once Christmas and New Year are out of the way, the days start to get a bit longer. So I kind of I'm a bit glass half full on that. I don't mind the seasons, but of course if you feel like you're stuck in your home for, you know, all day every day, and haven't got anything that to sort of stimulate your mind, it's not going to be much fun, is it? But there are things out there. So if anyone's got any advice or you know, anything that's maybe a bit different that I haven't suggested, please let us know, because we don't want any of our number being fed up and bored, do we? We all want I think, you know, it's funny, isn't it? Because when I first started watching YouTube, I wouldn't say I was particularly bored or anything, but when I started to get into it, and I used to look forward to, and I know some of you do with me every week, which is really nice. Used to look forward to whoever I was following at the time for their next video to come up. You know, because it does feel like you've got a community and a bunch of friends, doesn't it? Although you've never been in the same room as these people. But things like YouTube are quite good for that sort of thing. I think it can be a bit of a saviour. Plus, it can be educational, or it can be, you know, some things that people do can make you cross, or it evokes lots of sort of feelings, really, doesn't it? Social media, yeah. So let me know, or let us know, or let Karen know if you can think of anything that might be something that she'd want to do. Yeah, and we can have another chat about that in the future. That'd be helpful. Thank you. And the last thing I wanted to touch on today was I imagine a lot of you know this already, because I'm sure you are great fans of Angela from Wraparound Plus, but I just wanted to welcome her back to YouTube. She's had a very difficult time in the last couple of years, and she took a little bit of time off over the summer to sort of regroup, and she's put a new video out. I think it was just yesterday. I just saw it yesterday, just explaining what's been going on, and it was a very emotional. I know how difficult it was, and you've only got to watch her, but I know how difficult it was for her to put this video out. But she wanted to explain to you what's been going on, and she's now feeling that she's in a good place to come back and start her channel up again. I won't say too much about her story, because that's her story to tell, and she tells it much better than me. So that's Angela from Wraparound Plus. The channel's called Wraparound Plus, and she's called Angela, but I'm sure most of you know that. So if you haven't seen her videos so far, please go and have a look, and please give her the support that I know you will, because, you know, the things that have been going on with her, I know others out there will possibly have similar experiences and will be supportive. But and I know that I'm pretty sure that anything that's going on in our lives, if we've got some support out there and people know how we feel, exactly how we feel, it does help, and I'm sure she will appreciate that. She's so lovely, and I'm so pleased that she's felt that she wants to come back. She does very good videos. She does all the clothing hauls, and she's brilliant at all that. I don't know where she finds all this stuff, because I never do. I did do a collab with her a few months ago, and that was really nice, and maybe I'll suggest that she and I do another one sometime. But I'm sure she's got lots of content waiting for you, so go and have a little listen to her. There's very that's the only word I can use, really, a very emotional video, and I'm so pleased that she's back and in a better place now. So that's Angela. I don't think this has been a very good video today. I'm so sorry. I've got, I'm going out for dinner tomorrow night, Saturday tomorrow. I'm doing this video Friday and I'm hopefully putting it out this evening. So, oh dear. Sorry, I just haven't had the time. And it's my birthday. That I'm going out because my son and his friend are taking me out for, me and current husband out for dinner tomorrow night for my birthday, and then I've got my birthday next week, and yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like. My birthday's not the most exciting thing in the world anymore, but yeah, I'll see what I can do for next week and come back with another video, and hopefully on Tuesday. So please take good care of yourselves. As I say, I'm sorry if it hasn't been a very good video. It's just one of those days today, I think. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Oh, I've got my flu jab tomorrow, and I know that some of you have as well. So I want to say good luck, but you don't need good luck for a flu jab. But we are the flu fraternity now. So, and a few of you told me that you've got your oh, sorry. That's embarrassing, isn't it? A few of you have told me that you've got COVID jabs booked as well, so that's great if you're being offered those. I'm not being offered one this year. I don't really know why, but luckily I've never had COVID. I don't quite know how I've escaped it because, well, me and current husband haven't had it, and most of our children have. A couple of our grandchildren have, I think. Yeah, I don't know why. How come we haven't got it? And I think, my friends have had it as well. I don't know. Weird, isn't it? Right. See you very soon. You take care. Have a great few days, and I'll be back in a few days' time. So see you then. Bye bye.